All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. We are talking about isogenics and isogenics products. My name is Sara Richter, and I'm a nutritionist and product education manager here at Isogenics. Just before we get going, I just want to remind everybody that this is for product education purposes only. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not here to provide any kind of medical advice, nor do our products cure, treat, prevent, diagnose any sort of disease or condition. We're really just talking nutrition and how better to utilize Isogenics products and solutions so they provide you the most benefit. So with that, we are talking about a pretty common question that a lot of people that start Isogenics have, and that is, what do we do beyond the 30-day system? Now, we do know the 30-day system, which is within the weight loss solution with Isogenics, is a great starting point for so many people. And a lot of people, this is how they get going in Isogenics, with this 30-day system. But usually around maybe 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, on to the last week of that 30-day system, a lot of people start wondering, what do I do next? Am I gonna have to do the 30-day system the rest of my life? Or how do Isogenics pathways, long-term healthy lifestyles, what do they look like? And what do I need to do? So that's what this call is, a webinar is meant to educate on, is what are the options and what you should be thinking about yourself so you know what your next steps are. And that's really the bottom line too, is that Isogenics is not just a 30-day system or diet. We really do want this to be your healthy lifestyle partner, something that's going to, support you long-term for the rest of your life, even in your nutrition, in your healthy living. So it's absolutely correct to be thinking, what's beyond the 30-day system? So let's explore that. And typically, there's a few different scenarios that people find themselves in when you get towards the end of your initial 30-day system. Either you may not have reached your goal weight yet, depending on what your goal weight is. You may have some more to go. You may also feel that week 1, week 2, you lost some great weight, you had some great results, but now you feel that it's kind of stalled or slowed down. So what's going on there? And then finally, you've had a great experience on your 30-day, you're, smashing those goals, getting where you want to be, but you are wondering what is next and what is my plan going to look like for long-term maintenance? So these are, again, all great questions and, absolutely normal to be thinking. So let's break down each one by one. So first, you have not reached your goal weight yet. And this one is probably the most straightforward and easiest, in that if you haven't reached your goal, the solution is to keep going. It's perfectly normal to do a 30-day system repeatedly, one after the other, until you reach your goal. We do know that our 30-day system, the combination of the shake days, cleanse days, it's clinically supported and studied. It's very effective and safe for weight loss. So absolutely, if you have more weight to lose, keep going. And we don't put a total number of how long it's going to take everybody to reach their goal, because everybody's different. And also too, we always want you to be responsible and realistic in your goal setting and your expectations of when you reach those goals. If you have a pretty big goal of weight loss, you're probably not going to reach it in 30 days. It's going to take longer. We want people losing weight at a safe rate. And so absolutely, it's okay to do more than one 30-day system to reach your goal. So if you haven't reached your goal yet, you just keep going. Your next order, get another 30-day and just keep doing the system until you get where you want to be. Now, next one, feeling that a weight loss plateau has been reached or that you are stalling. Now, the first thing to remember, for one, is that, for significant or meaningful weight loss to happen, very often it takes more than 30 days. So usually when people are within their first 30-day system and they're already complaining about a weight loss plateau or feeling like they've hit a weight loss plateau, my advice would be to say, hold on a minute, we have some more time to go. It's perfectly normal sometimes, that initial weight that came off can be very fast, but then your body's going to kind of, slow down and start losing at a more, maybe obviously a slower pace, but maybe just a more realistic and safer way to go. So that's okay. So we don't necessarily need to be sounding the alarms fully yet that you've totally stalled. It's just that you need more time. I'll even say in research studies, they don't even consider really measuring weight loss before or after until 30 days or 4 weeks. So you really need to give it the full 30 days to see what your ultimate results will be. But I can absolutely understand, as one who's experienced or gone through weight loss myself, when you have such good success and things are rolling the way you want it, when it stops or slows down, it's like, oh gosh, what's going on here? What's going on? So first, just know that, have faith in the system, following it, doing what you're supposed to do. It will kick back in and, you will continue to lose weight as long as you're following it. But then also there are a few other pointers that, you can kind of go through the checklist to see where you stack up here and if there might be some room for some modifications. So first one is protein. Increasing your protein intake is pretty tried and true method to potentially helping getting through or breaking through weight loss plateaus. For one, increased protein helps support satiety, which is feeling full between meals. So when you increase your protein per meal, you're much less likely to be hungry, a couple hours after your meal, or be looking for that snack in the afternoon. So that can maybe help decrease the total amount of calories you consume just by increasing protein some. Also too, when we increase our protein, our body has to work, or AKA burn calories, just to digest protein and process it, if you will. So, that can help increase your thermogenesis, or your body's ability to burn calories. So that's another benefit of increasing protein and how it can help somebody potentially get over that, weight loss plateau. And then finally, protein, as most of us understand, is what helps feed our muscles and support our muscles, muscle growth, muscle maintenance. And the better we can do that, the better we can support just our body's overall ability to burn calories, and therefore helping us to, kick that weight loss into gear again. So increasing protein intake. So maybe that means your next order or your next 30-day, or even sooner, you're going to switch from an Isoline shake to the Isoline Pro, which, remember, the Isoline Pro shake has 36 grams of protein per shake compared to the Isoline, which has 24 grams of protein per shake. So that's an option to increase your protein. Another one is Isopro. Isopro is just plain whey protein concentrate. It's not a meal like the Isoline or the Isoline Pro shakes, but it is a great way to help increase protein. You can either add it to your Isoline shake, add a scoop to bump up the protein. You can add it in between meals, just a plain Isopro, whether it be 1 scoop or 2. After your workouts. I like to add it to other foods, when I'm cooking in the kitchen, like my oatmeal, or, you can make some homemade snacks that, protein is the star. So 2 great options to help increase protein, Isopro and Isoline Pro, to help with those weight loss plateaus. Another thing to consider is your exercise regimen. If you feel like your weight loss has stalled or you're not getting the results you want, what are you doing for exercise? Now, I know there are sometimes scenarios, medical reasons, etc., the like, that may prevent people from being able to exercise. And that's okay. But if not, you really should be considering an exercise regimen. I mean, it's the other half, or one of the other parts of a healthy lifestyle. So we do want people to be incorporating exercise into their routines and their isogenics regimens. So what are you doing? Are you maybe, you're going to the gym, but you're, doing your 45 minutes of cardio on the treadmill, but, it's not a very high resistance or height. You could be working harder, basically. Maybe you could incorporate some high intensity interval training, resistance training, if we're going to go back to muscle and how we can best support our muscles, our metabolism, resistance training, strength training, lifting weights basically is the best exercise we can do for that. So absolutely, if you're not incorporating either of these types of exercise into your regimen, I would consider that for sure, because that can absolutely help you, get over that hump and, continue losing the weight you'd like to lose. Another thing, even though, our 30-day system does have cleanse days as a pretty big part of the regimen, either 1 day a week or, 2 days back to back for 2 weeks out of the month, I talk to a lot of customers and I kind of find, when I talk to them about their cleanse day routine, they're like, oh yeah, I started out great. I did the 2 day back to back. And then I ask, well, have you been continuing or have you been continuing to do cleanse days? And they're like, oh, well, I need to, I'm going to do it next week. So I think a lot of people need to recommit or, think about your cleanse days and making sure that those are a normal part of the routine. Again, whether it's one cleanse day per week or 2 cleanse days back to back, 2 weeks out of the month. And maybe it's a matter of switching it up. Maybe some people you're just doing 1 day. So maybe try that back to back. They're likely, though we haven't studied it very well, there likely is some truth to that. When you do the 2 day back to back, you might be dipping into more of your fat stores on that second day. So maybe, the 2 day back to back is going to help you get over your plateau. So absolutely recommit to your cleanse days and make it part of your regular routine. Now, lastly, and this is the hardest one because all of us usually, even myself sometimes, we underestimate how much we eat and drink. That's another part. It's not just eating, it is drinking. And unless you have it in your head memorized or constantly are checking calorie content of foods and beverages, who knows how much you're eating. So consider your overall diet. And this is, again, we're talking about people who feel like they're not getting the results that they think they should be having. So what are you eating overall? Sometimes to help with this, it can be useful to keep a journal. Keep a journal of what you're eating outside your isogenics, just so you can really track and see and maybe realize, looking back over it, like, okay, maybe I need to have, a little bit less at my third meal, or, I am having a couple glasses of wine a night. Maybe I could cut that out if, you really are sticking or wanting to reach your goals. But then also, too, I do want to be very clear. We always have to be realistic with ourselves and understanding, too, 30 days just might not be long enough for you to reach your goals. Right? So going back to what I said in the beginning of, be realistic and understand that if you need more than 30 days, that's fine. And that's actually normal for a lot of people, depending on our age, our gender, our past weight loss history, our stress, our sleep. All of these things are going to play into how well you can lose weight. So while these are great things to think about when you've hit a plateau, overall, I would first think about, is this a plateau or do you just need maybe more than 30 days? So then you're going to be a candidate for do another 30-day, trust, have faith in the system, follow the system, and eventually you will get where you're wanting to go. It's just not going to be in 30 days. But these are all good things to think about when we are following it. All right, so lastly, you've done your 30-day system, you've reached your goal, and now you're wondering what's next. What does maintenance look like with isogenics, and why should I consider it? And while some may want a more black and white answer, it really comes up to you and you deciding what about this system or these components, these nutritional components, best support you. So it's really up to you to decide, what do you like about the system? I think, the 30-day system with isogenics is a great way to get to know, the system. Shake days, cleanse days, how they work. By the end of that 30-day system, as long as you're following it correctly, you should really be a pro in shake days, cleanse days, and understanding how that fits into your lifestyle and supports you. So then at the end of it and trying to figure out what's your maintenance system, again, decide what is it that you like? What is it that's going to seamlessly fit in to your long-term lifestyle? And there's something for everyone within the system. Is it the shakes or the bars? Having these convenient, great tasting, yet nutritious, ready to go meals anytime that you need. That's a wonderful thing to have. I mean, as a nutritionist, I think more and more people need to have shakes in their pantry at all times to always fall back on when they need them. Do you like the adaptogens? Our products like Ionic Supreme, eShot, if that was part of your 30-day, but especially Ionic Supreme. There is some benefit to having these herbal components daily. We educate about them a lot, and the good clinical support that they have, or the evidence showing that they have a very real benefit on the body. So maybe you've become, hooked on your daily Ionic Supreme, and that's great. So that's something you want to continue. What about the snack options? While I know that there's not a lot of isogenic snack option products in our 30-day, you've been looking around the product catalog or online, and you've noticed we do have some great snack options. And absolutely, a long-term healthy diet, you got to have a snack plan. So do you want to start incorporating some snacks that you can have always at the ready for your diet? What about nutrient support? Like here, I'm talking about our complete essentials. This is another part of long-term nutrition. Getting, the vitamins, the minerals, the fish oil, ingredients or nutrients like coenzyme Q10, resveratrol, milk thistle, tocotrienols, nutrients or ingredients that really aren't even in normal diets. This is even in addition to vitamins and minerals. So here I'm talking about our complete essentials. Another great long-term product that absolutely I think more people need in their diet. Because, I mean, ask yourself, do you even know what your daily nutrient needs are when it comes to, vitamins and minerals and all these other stuff? And in addition to knowing what you need, do you know that you get it every day from all of your meals? Most people don't. So that's why something like Complete Essentials, having it to just fill in those gaps and ensure that you get what you need is a very good thing to have for a long-term healthy lifestyle. Okay, what about this? Maybe in your 30-day you started going to the gym and working out. So now you need some good nutritional support for working out. So Isagenix absolutely has that in our performance solution. So maybe that's going to be your next step. What about cleanse days? You like cleanse days. Maybe you don't want to do them as often as the 30-day calls for, 1 day a week or 2 times back to back, 2 weeks out of the month. But you do want to make it, semi-regular. So maybe it's 1 day a month, or maybe it's, a double cleanse every other month, what have you. But having cleanse days always at the ready. So these are things to think about. What are the components that you like that are going to fit into your lifestyle seamlessly, which all of these things can and do, to help support you. All right, so a couple of things. I really like the options that we have both in the energy system and the healthy aging system. I think these are great, just, good nutrition, long-term lifestyle solutions or system packs. The energy really is my favorite because you've got meal options, you've got the shakes, you've got the bars, you've got snack options, the fiber snacks, the isodelights, which is a great, sweet treat when you need something sweet. But then also too, you've got, coffee, you've got the adaptogens with E Plus and Ionic Supreme. You even have our sleep support, which is a great melatonin spray. So I love the energy system options. Really great, just long-term lifestyle, everyday nutrition. Same though with the healthy aging, and even this is the classic healthy aging system. I do believe, if that's the exact name of it. But as you see, you've got shake, you've got your complete essentials, so the nutrient support, you've got enough products to do cleanse days, I believe up to 4 days out of the month. So this might be for somebody who wants to continue cleansing, likes the shakes, the nutrient support, you do have your ionics. So this is another great little bundle. And by no means is this exclusive or, all that we have. There are so many different ones. The Shake and Shot pack is another great one. I don't have listed here, but I love that one too because it's Shake and E+, and that's great. So again, it really just depends on the person and what the individual wants, but we have a lot of different options for people. Another one, the custom weight loss system. This is great because it's the same as the 30-day, but a little bit different in that you have a few less of the products, or full canisters, I should say. You still do have the Cleanse Day Support Kit, which is just enough of Natural Accelerator Isoflush and the snacks to do up to 4 cleanse days per month. But then you get that $50 voucher. And I forgive me if that's not exactly correct in Canadian dollars, but that's US. It might be slightly different for Canada. But you have that extra money that you can choose whatever product you want. So maybe you want to try something in our performance line or a different product. Again, look through the product catalog. We have so many different options. So that's another great option for long-term maintenance. Then finally, for those gym people, or for those of you who started working out and now you really want to get some performance nutrition, any of our performance systems within that performance solution will be great. This is just the classic. You've got all of the amped products, which are your nutrient timing products before a workout, during a workout, after a workout. You've got the ionics, the E+, the adaptogens, the increased protein with Isolene Pro and the Amp Protein Bar. So again, great options. And this is, again, by no means all that we have. Just to give you a few examples and let you know that we really do have something for everyone. Now, another thing that I think is worth talking about is, why is there benefit in continuing having the shakes or doing cleanse days, or both, right? And again, not to say that everybody just has to do a 30-day system strictly for the rest of your life, not at all. But there really is a lot of benefit in each of these components. And I want people to understand more why that is so beneficial and really so powerful to have in your diet. As somebody who, nutritionist myself, and as a human being who looks after my own nutrition, and somebody who also used to be only whole foods, I can make all my food, I know what I'm doing. These products and these components have completely changed my own nutrition and made it so much easier. It's so powerful to have these. So let's talk about why. Starting with shake. And again, long term, after your 30-day, the power is in your hands. It's up to you. But you have a few different options. If you want to continue having 2 shakes or 2 isogenics meal options, which can include the Isolene bars, and a third meal on your own, that's great. For a lot of people, it's easy. They like only having to think about one meal that they have to put together. So if you want to continue on with 2 isogenics meal options a day, awesome. Or maybe it's just one. You like your 2 meals on your own, and you're going to have 1 isogenics meal option. That's great too. Here, and I added, maybe you're going to add fruit, like banana, or that is always an option as well. Usually people who are on a strict weight loss goal or regimen, I would maybe just advise, say, be aware of what you add to your shake. But once we reach that goal or we get outside of it, yes. Or even for those who want to gain weight, they do exist, trying to gain weight on isogenic system. Absolutely, you can add to your shake. Fruit, oats, maybe a little bit of peanut butter powder. So maybe that's what the long-term shake regimen looks like for you. Or sometimes mix it up. I know for me, my long-term lifestyle is actually a mix of this. Sometimes I have 2 shakes a day and 1 meal on my own. Other days it's just 1 shake. Other days it's no shakes. It really just depends. But I'm always coming back to the shake, the bars at some point. Absolutely. And believe me, more days than not, I'm having shakes. It's usually only if I'm traveling, or just special circumstances days that I'm not having an isogenic shake or bar. But absolutely. So pick whatever you like, or have it both, be a mix. And what's the benefit of this, of having shakes in, just a shake a day or 2 shakes a day? Well, for one, you're really covering what a lot of people, when they make food choices, this is what they go for: taste, cost, convenience. And you've got all 3 of those here. You've got great tasting meal options, and we just get better. I don't know, for those of you, I don't know if you've had our seasonal flavors yet or will, but whew, we have such great tasting shakes and bars. They just get better and better. And I get excited. I literally get excited to have a shake or a bar. So they taste great. When you figure out the cost, it's like the cost of a fast food meal, right? This is fast food meal money, but yet you're getting so much more nutrition. And they're so easy, right? Either you just add water, you just open up the bar, or you make it in a shaker cup. You've got a meal, a nutritious meal at the ready. Boom. Very taste, cost, convenience is huge. Lastly, on the nutrition side, as I already mentioned, you've got a nutrient dense, meaning you've got a full profile of good nutrients. Your fat, your fiber, your carbohydrate, protein, sometimes vitamins and minerals. Usually when you think about our shakes or bars and you look at the nutrient profile, and the amount of calories, right? Nutrient dense means it's a lot of nutrients, but maybe not a ton of calories. And so you would not be able to put together a whole food meal, whole food healthy meal with this nutrient profile in the amount of calories that you're getting in the shake or the bar. It's impossible. I've tried. And that's really, then that plays into calorie control. And that's important, especially if you're talking long-term weight maintenance, specifically, right? You need to control your calories. You need to not let it get out of control. So by having a shake a day or 2 shakes a day for meals, that's going to help you reach that and stay within your calorie needs, but yet still getting that good dense nutrition. So nutrient density, calorie control, and finally, protein. While I will never say that Isagenix is just a protein shake company or protein, because there's so much other nutrition that comes with that protein, we do care about the protein, and we do a very good job of providing the right type of protein and the right amount. And so with our dairy-based isolene shakes, you're getting the whey protein. And then our plant-based, obviously you're not getting dairy or whey, but you're getting plant proteins that when combined, they have a similar amino acid profile very close to whey protein. And that's why whey protein really is so superior when we talk about muscle building, fat burning, maybe even satiety. It's very much due to the amino acid profile that whey protein naturally has. So, there's a lot of science behind whey protein. It's because of the amino acid profile. And so with our plant-based, again, it's amino acid profile very, very close to whey. So you're still going to get that muscle building, fat burning, satiety support. And then also to the right amount. And this is when you look at a lot of other, shakes or whatnot, a lot of people don't pay attention to protein amount. And Isagenix does. And we're right in line with what nutritional science shows is needed to support that muscle building as well as the satiety. And that's the window of about 20 to 40 grams of protein per meal. And so Isolene Shake, 24 grams of protein per shake. You've got the Isolene Pro, which is 36 grams of protein. The bars are just under 20 grams. You've got 18 or 19 grams of protein per bar, depending on what bar you choose. So you're right within that window, and that's important. And another thing too, if we talk about what's known as protein pacing, which nutritional science is showing to be very important, is that you're, instead of having a very high carb breakfast, high carb lunch, and then dinner, you have a big serving of protein. What the research shows is that you want an even distribution at each meal within that window, that 20 to 40 grams at each meal. And that's really going to best support maintaining your muscle, maintaining your satiety, maintaining that healthy weight. So by having a shake a day or 2 a day, you are achieving that even distribution, making it a lot easier on yourself rather than having to think about it. Where am I getting that protein? How much? Take the guesswork out. The shake really does that. So there's huge benefit, always benefit in having the shakes or Isagenix meal options at the ready, always in your pantry. Now, let's talk about cleanse days now and why many people can benefit from cleanse days. So, and this is taken from a scientific paper, not to get too deep on you, but for those who do want a little bit of science behind cleanse days. So it's pretty clear to those that study it that when we challenge our body in certain ways, or what's known as mild stressors, that it can cause, cells in our organs to have to adapt, respond, and then it makes them stronger. Right, which I think is pretty intuitive. That saying, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. We have to challenge ourselves to make us better. So it's very true too to the internal workings of our body. And this is just a oversimplified graph or image of the brain, but this very much happens in the brain, that you can strengthen your brain by providing these mild challenges to it, or intermittent challenges. So what are those challenges that we can pose to our body to strengthen it? Well, one of them is intermittent fasting, or restricting our food intake intermittently. And for those wondering, intermittent just means, kind of in between, taking a day or two in between your normal intake days and restricting or fasting. Also, which is no surprise, fitness or exercise, aerobic fitness, is also a good challenge to pose to our body to help strengthen it. And then also, too, certain phytochemicals, which, are certain nutrients that are coming from plants. And here, we won't go into it, but I will say adaptogens, which are a very special class of herbs and plant compounds in certain Isagenix products, could be considered among that class. So we won't talk about those today, but just know that there's a few different Isagenix components here that are helping in this area. So knowing that, what happens in your body during fasting, and why is this going to support overall health? Well, again, if we're looking at the science of fasting, this is based on studies and scientific reviews on the topic, but it's become well accepted that when we fast or when we don't eat, give our bodies a break from the normal digestion that most people put their bodies through. And when you think about what a lot of people eat, a lot of people are putting their bodies through a lot of work with their normal digestion. So when we take a break from that and we fast, or we do isogenics cleanse day, we're allowing our bodies to reach this phase called autophagy. And this is just kind of a inner recycling, if you will, that our bodies do on their own to ourselves. And that it's removing that molecular garbage, kind of the cellular debris, being able to get rid of it, take it to the curb, and then let other processes of renewal and restoration happen in place of that. So very good process to allow our bodies to reach, and that happens when we fast. So that's one. And then also another one, something called ketone bodies. And this happens when our bodies don't have any more carbohydrate stores to pull from for energy. And so fatty acids get released from, fat cells, and they're converted to these ketone bodies. And these can be a very, very good beneficial source of energy. And especially, as it says, for our muscles as well as our neurons. And, neurons are very important and for a lot of different things. So allowing our bodies to get to this point of making these ketone bodies through fasting is showing to be pretty beneficial. And again, this is going to be happening during fasting, especially when you talk about the ketone bodies. This is where that, do I do 1 day or 2 cleanse days back to back? Because it's very likely, and while everybody's going to be different, and it's hard to say exactly, whether people are creating or making the ketone bodies and how much, it's going to make sense that on day 2 of a cleanse day, that's when you're probably going to be getting more into that versus the day 1. But again, it's really hard to say, but just know that when we fast, these are things that happen and why it has such benefit to health. Okay, so bringing it back to cleanse days then. Cleanse days really are a form of intermittent fasting. And, we call it nutritionally supported because instead of just having plain water, you're having, very targeted nutritional support. And now I've only pictured on this slide a few of the options on cleanse days. This is not an exclusive list at all. But, you've got Cleanse for Life. You've got eShot, where you're getting both adaptogens. Cleanse for Life also has some great antioxidants, ingredients like peppermint and aloe, very soothing to the digestive system when you're taking a break, but still very low calorie, right? And then also too, you've got whey thins or the isogenic snacks wafers. I don't have those listed here, but these are very, again, low calorie, but just enough nutrition to help, provide some sustenance, make it easier on you, make it more doable, help maintain blood sugar, because that's an issue that people will have when they're fasting. But, the isodolites, the chocolates, we've got some great options for fasting nutrition. And the goal is that, even though you might have a little bit here and there, whether it's an Isodelight, your Cleanse for Life, an E+, by the end of your cleanse day or your fast day, you've only had several hundred calories. So you absolutely have fasted. You've given your digestive system a break from what it's normally doing. And whether you do it one day or two, you are fasting. So again, going back to the science of the fasting, what's going on, there's absolute benefit to that. So even if, we've reached our weight loss goal, we're good, there's still benefit to doing cleanse days and the intermittent fasting. And again, maybe it's just one day a month. Maybe it's a 2-day back-to-back once a month. I know some people who will wait till their pants get too tight. Then they kick into a cleanse day routine. It's up to you. Again, it's not just about weight loss. It's, people feel more mentally alert. They feel just more energetic. It's absolutely a very neat thing to see what happens to your body and how it responds to this intermittent fasting protocol that we call cleanse days. So huge benefit, and hopefully it just makes you realize that whether it's cleanse days, whether it's shake days, and those are the only two things that you do with Isogenics for your long-term lifestyle, there's a lot of benefit. There's absolutely a lot of benefit. So with that, I do hope that I've helped maybe answer or clarify and helped you realize what your long-term goal or what your long-term regimen is with Isogenics. There's so much more. We're never just a 30-day system. We have so much more. And whether you keep going on that or you pick one of the very other many great options we have, we are here to support your long-term healthy lifestyle success. So cheers, everyone, and thanks for tuning in.